Well, it's Thursday, and I was going to show you these, but apparently the supplier turned around and said they're not ready yet for the market, so don't show these. Man, what a mess. The other day, Jeff King over at the Den of Tools, you know, that channel, he announced that SK was back. SK has been back for a while apparently, but they're now available on Amazon. If you don't know SK tools, they were, when I was a kid, they were like the pro mechanic tools, the real deal to buy. They were expensive, you know, compared to, you know, Craftsman or something else. SK was like, whoa, you know, those prices were a little shocking. But they had some really awesome tools. In fact, this screwdriver has been with me for just about ever, and it's an SK, it was an old SK screwdriver, and it was very expensive in its day. I forget what I paid, I don't even want to remember, but it had some, you know, features such as this octagon type shaft up here where you could put a wrench on this and turn the screwdriver and force it to do something, you know, if you were trying to get something broke loose or something. But it was also great for prying. It was hammered to death, and the plastic handle has held up forever. And this is still my sort of, you know, if I want to really pry on something, this is one of my go-to, you know, screwdrivers to this day. It has never bent. Yeah, the chrome has pretty much slowly disintegrated over 30, 40 years, whatever, but it's still a great screwdriver, and it was SK. And I have some SK sockets and some other stuff in my tools, but they're mechanic tools. I mean, they were the pro tools that you went to, especially if you didn't have a Snap-on truck around you, or Mac Tool, or one of those other fancy brand names. This was the one you went to. Especially, I noticed like a lot of the race car type shops and stuff, they would sell race car aftermarket parts, third party, whatever, but they'd also always carry SK tools. But they were pricey, and they're on Amazon, and they are still in that thing of they're kind of pricey compared to other tools, but the quality is there. Now, SK was bought out a few years ago and closed down by a place in China. What else is new? But they've come back, and they are manufacturing, from what I understand, some of their tools are now being made here in the US, and supposedly a lot of the SK, if it's doable, will be manufactured here in the US. So that's awesome news. You know, that is really something. And I thought I would just, if you hadn't heard, I would share it with you guys today. The other thing that happened this past week, sort of a sad thing, Jimmy Buffett passed away September the 1st. That was kind of a downer. This past Sunday, they had the funeral, official funeral for that gentleman that we talked about the other week, who was, he passed away from a kickback on a table saw. If you missed that episode, I'll see if I can put a link below or something. But it was just a bad accident, and unfortunately Matt his family is grieving over last Sunday with the funeral in Statesboro, Georgia, I believe. And so that was, you know, some things that happened that were newsworthy for me anyways this week. The other thing I wanted to point out, and I'm going to show it to you, was the Artillery Sidewinder X2 Pro is a really big machine. It's a 3D printer, but it's a big one. It's 300 millimeter by 300 millimeter by 400 millimeter. That's about 14 inches by 14 by about 16, 17 inches in size. So it can make some big parts, you know, if you need it. But it went on sale, and the last I checked, I'll see if I can find the link, was boom, yeah, sale price $299. Wow, you know, I'll provide you a link in the description below where you can find that. If you're looking or thinking about a 3D printer and you're thinking, I need a big one, you know, that would be a go-to for that price. That's amazing. 3D printers right now, there is just so much out there on the market right now. It's kind of flooded with, you know, everybody's making a 3D printer. Same with the lasers. Lasers are horrible. There are just so many companies coming out of the, you know, out of nowhere with a brand name and, oh, we do 3D, you know, laser engraving. Yeah, boom, we're over here at the printing farm station. This one here came in a while back, and it is the one that's on sale. This is right now $299. I would say that, you know, if you want a big printer and you don't want to spend a lot of money, this is as big at a small price as I've seen for $299. And Artillery has been making some printers for a while, so it's not like this is the only thing they've ever made or something, because the Hornet, for example, when it was in here, it was actually a really good printer. This one here comes with auto bed leveling, filament run out, direct drive for the extruder and stuff. So it has really good features, and I was pretty impressed with it. And of course the touchscreen, I love having the touchscreen on a 3D printer. But this one here it just seemed like it was priced like the rest of them, you know, it was like that $500, whatever it was, mark. And with the $299 sale price, it was like, you know, if I was going to do it, I guess that's about, yeah, that's a better price than anything I've ever heard of in this size. So I'll share it with you guys. Not sponsored link or anything like that. It's not affiliated or anything. I'm just showing you something because even I have to admit, I was, you know, if I wanted one of these, that would be a great price for that size of printer. There are more expensive printers out there that you can buy, yeah, you know, if you want to spend more money, but this is as good as any printer out there as far as in this range. Yeah. This past week in the garage was a project. I didn't film this one because it's pretty rough. Wife picked it up at a yard sale. What else is in there? And this top was all marked up really badly. It had everything from, you know, glasses of cold drinks, scratches, you name it. The rest of the cabinet wasn't in too bad a shape, but just this was bad. And this is a, let's see if I can push the button here to unlock it. There we go. This is a cedar cabinet. It's an antique. The company stopped making stuff about the 1940s. They used the old felt for the seal and stuff. I fixed the felt and I cleaned up the rest of the cabinet. But the top, I had to redo it. So I took it down with about 150 grit and then went to 220, 240, and went on up to 600, and then just put a nice fresh dark walnut stain back on it for the time being. And of course we'll just be putting this up for sale to, you know, get it out of here because there's no reason for us to keep it. But it is a nice piece. But it is some woodworking and you know, a project that was in the garage here. Unfortunately, you can't film everything that comes through, and this was one of those ones where I really just didn't have the chance to sit down and say, okay, let's film this step by step how we're going to proceed to go through. Basically, I went over the whole cabinet with some small toothbrushes to scrape out all the dirt, anything away from corners and things first. Then wiped the whole cabinet down with a dry cloth and just used a little bit of like Old English, you know, type thing to, you know, clean it up. The top was really the only thing bad. Also, it was delaminating a little bit, and I had to re-glue and redo the top a little bit as far as gluing it down goes. And the trick there, and I have showed it way back years ago, we showed it. What I did was lift the laminate and put the glue on a piece of sheet of paper and shove the paper up underneath this and get it all nice and smeared up there with glue, and then bring it back down with the clamps and clamp it and put some really good hardwood boards across here to clamp everything back so to get this whole top straight and back in place where it needed to be. If I was really into overhauling it, what we would have done is probably heated this up and actually removed the laminate boards and replaced them, you know, with new fresh stuff. But in this case, this was a quick sort of, you know, in and out job, which again was one of the reasons I didn't really want to film it too much, because it was like, this is kind of a dirty job of taking an antique, clean it up, make it look nice, and just resell it to get it out of here, because there's really no point in us having it. Brought it home only, if nothing else, because I looked at it and thought, you know, that would be fairly easy to restore and make the cabinet look good without getting too crazy. And it's a real antique, you know, it's the real thing, which was one of the things I love about antiques. It's real wood, you know, so you can do something with it. Yeah, let's get on to other things. Yeah. So we've had some different projects going on this week, from 3D printing, solar power stations, running the AC in here off solar. Kind of a cool idea. I liked it. I can't run it right now. It's too noisy, so yeah, I'm dying here. But we're giving away a light meter, and we set that up a couple weeks ago to give away. I think it was a week or two ago. Anyways, I'm going to give that away to a lucky viewer who has entered his name for the contest to draw for the light meter. And I got all the tickets. There isn't a whole lot of them, but I got the tickets in here to all mix up and see if we can find out who's got a light meter coming this week. I'm gonna stir them up real good. Stir them up real good if I can. And see who's got the light meter. Light meter is really cool. It's real easy to use. Turn it on just about, and got a little swivel head and things. You can sort of, you know, do one of these at the light fixtures, whatever. It'll tell you the lumen rating, and the lumen is going to tell you how much light you're dealing with. So that's a pretty good number to have. Got a long ticky here. What do we got here? And it is, oh wow, That's got some time. Hope he's there. I think he is. He's in Bakersfield, California. His Clifford. Oh, Clifford. Have you ever gotten anything before, Clifford? I'm not sure. I think you have, but I could be wrong. But Clifford in Bakersfield, California. Clifford, you got your light meter so you can measure light. I'll send that out to you Monday, buddy. Thank you for entering. I thank everybody here for entering the contest because I like giving the stuff away when I get a chance. And that's why one of the reasons the manufacturers, when they ask about supplying me something, I say, can you get me 2 or more? Sometimes I ask for 5 and then they say, well, how about 2? And I'm like, okay, give me 2. That way we can give one away. And in some cases, if I feel I can deal with it, I'll give them both away. I'm going to keep a light meter because I found it's a pretty handy little item around here. So I was like, okay, it's cool. They're not very expensive. I will provide a link in the description below where you can find the Top Test light meter if you're interested. They're not very expensive, but boy, they can be really weirdly handy for some reason. Just like that other one, I have the noise meter here from Top Test, same thing. And every once in a while, it's kind of cool to pull it out, check the noise levels on things. Oh man, it is hot in here. I tell you what, I'm going to get out of here and get into some AC because without the AC running in this garage right now, I'm pretty sure the temperature is going up. On the light meter, we've got this, we can read it, 94 and it's climbing. Oh, okay, I need to get out of here before I fry. All right, thank you for watching Coffee Juice. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the notice bell because we give stuff away week to week, whenever we can. I'm out of here, people. Over and out.